Hey guys, it's Bear. It's Life of T-Men. It's Friday, June 19th, and this week's topic is bigotry and discrimination. This is a difficult topic for me to talk about, only because I haven't really dealt with a lot of intolerance, or discrimination at all. I've been out as transgender since October of last year, and like I said, it's June now. I had started exploring coming out and whether or not I wanted to medically transition probably about a year ago right now. It was like June of last year that I really started to confront this. I had been researching it and watching all sorts of YouTube videos and other stuff for a couple years before that, and had been out as like queer, But yeah, so I've only been out for less than a year. I've only been transitioning since November. I got on T November 7th. Had my name changed back in March and had my top surgery like 10 days ago. I'm recovering from that pretty well. So yeah, as far as bigotry and discrimination, I haven't really put up with it too much. Mostly because some luck, but also because the places that I choose to go and the people that I choose to surround myself with are just more positive than that. Anybody that was gonna be, an asshole about me being trans had already kind of been driven away from me because of my already sort of butch appearance, I'm bisexual, so I wasn't a lesbian before, but I was really a butch woman, and some people are turned off by that, and, in the communities that I'm involved with, there definitely are people that I'm not friendly with for multiple reasons, and that might be one. But I'm just saying that anybody that was going to be sort of pushed away from me because of being trans was already not involved with me because of my lifestyle already. So when I came out as trans, I did lose a few people, as far as just people that stopped talking to me, people that stopped being Facebook friends with me. And those people honestly never responded to my inquiries about, hey, what's up? So, the only things I have to say about any experiences personally are, I work for a major corporation, one of my jobs, and I did have a couple coworkers who, mostly based on sort of ignorance, were a little bit intolerant of not using my birth name and, kind of talking behind my back, going around talking to other coworkers, oh, that's really a woman, and like I said, it was more based on ignorance than anything else. I think they just hadn't been really exposed to very much in the LGBTQ spectrum. And so, that was just a matter of the boss actually handling it really well. Sat down with people and said, hey, first of all, don't be a dick. Second of all, you work for a corporation that has, an intolerance policy. And if you're intolerant to anybody over anything, race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, you're gonna get in trouble and you will get fired. And I've actually seen people get fired for using racial slurs in the past. It was a little bit more lenient as far as trans stuff, mostly because it's difficult to switch pronouns, and so you have to be a little bit more tolerant of people messing that up, and this falls under that. So when somebody's being a dick about it, it kind of falls under messing it up. But, like I said, it was handled really well, and, everybody else that I work with has been really awesome, as far as switching over to my preferred name, which is now my legal name, and pronouns and everything. I had started asking for that, like I said, back in October before I officially came out. I asked for people to stop calling me my birth name. And people made a good effort, and within a couple of months, mostly everybody was transitioned over. So, and then, you know, I also am involved in a couple of martial arts communities, and they've been mostly cool about it too. Again, you get people that just don't understand it, and that can come off a little bit dickish, I guess. I don't know. And that's fine. You kind of pull them aside and say, hey, look, this is what I'm dealing with. Or you ignore it, but for the most part I haven't really dealt with that, you know, and that's pretty cool. That's the place that most people raise a concern about when I talk about this. They're like, oh man, you're with all those meatheads at the gym, and it's not like that at all. Most people have been really cool, you know, to the point of people saying, hey, you know, when are you going to start using like the men's changing area and stuff like that, you know. So they've been mostly supportive. My students all switched over to calling me sir when I asked them to. Instructors have been a little bit slower on it, and again, I think that's just a matter of not being exposed to it or not being used to it or whatever. It's not for lack of effort or anything like that. So that's been my experience with bigotry and discrimination. I haven't had any instances where I could think of somebody discriminating against me. You know, discrimination is treatment of or making a distinction in favor of or against a person or thing based on the group, class, category to which that person or thing belongs rather than on individual merit. I haven't had that at work or, you know, at the gym or anything like that. There's a couple of clients that may or may not have stopped seeing me because of me coming out. That's fine. That's your personal comfort. You know, I have to deal with people in a very closed setting as a massage therapist, so if somebody's uncomfortable with something, that's not discrimination in my viewpoint. I haven't had anybody in public really get in my face, you know, hey, you tranny, anything like that. The only thing I've really come up against as far as that goes is on the internet. And that's a whole other category that I could spend a whole other, like, 10 minutes talking about. You know, people on the internet, you're dealing with a much, much bigger scope of people. And there's people of all sorts of viewpoints. And some of them are going to be, you know, jerks about it. And they're going to be intolerant. And it's up to you whether or not you're going to jump in on a discussion in the first place. You know, I've jumped in on discussions where people have turned around and been, you know, jerks, and it's like, okay, I knew that going into this, you know, discussion, you know, or commenting on this, whatever, you know, so that's a whole other thing, and those people can really suck, and it can be really hurtful, and you have to really kind of choose whether or not to get involved, and how much you're going to let it upset you, you know, and I've been kind of slammed for saying that, saying, you know, you're letting this upset you, but that's just how I kind of work, you know, and that's just me. So yeah, that's my thoughts on bigotry and discrimination for this week, and thanks for watching, guys. If you like the life of T-Men, please share the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and I'd like to open stuff up for question and answers, but I don't think it's possible. I think the comments have been disabled for these channels because we had some problems. So yeah, I'm thinking about a way of opening stuff up so that people can comment on these videos. And so, you know, if you've dealt with any kind of bigotry, discrimination for your race, sexual orientation, gender, you know, anything like that, please comment on where I post the videos on several different pages, and I'll try to incorporate that or get back to you on that. Thanks again, guys, and have a good day.